So it seems like we're back once again, but this time around it's for the third time of the month. Valve has once again sent out yet again another update for Counter-Strike 2, and no, it's not a large update, but it's more so fixes from the last update which broke and removed certain weapon animations and hurt performance. Now, since we are near the end of 2024, Valve will most likely not be updating Counter-Strike any further until 2025, which means the 75% off sale for the Shanghai Major won't be arriving until sometime in January, that being at the earliest. And because Christmas is tomorrow as I'm recording on the 24th, we haven't and probably won't see any sort of Christmas-themed updates this year, which sucks because most players thought if we did see anything else update-wise, it could have been very well themed around Christmas. If that's some sort of themed map, event, just having snowballs in the ground, who really knows? And I don't really think Counter-Strike players are crazy for thinking that either. Both Deadlock and TF2 have just received their Christmas updates. Now, just earlier last week, CS devs put out their brand new setting for CPUs, possibly giving a boost to performance, and boosting it upwards of 10%, that being more than stock. But just like in Counter-Strike fashion, things became broken, and broken fast. Today's video, we're going to break down this most recent blog post, showcase changes, and discuss where holiday events went inside the Counter-Strike franchise. Now, today's video sponsor is SkinsMonkey. SkinsMonkey is a buying and trading marketplace with a large variety of skins to choose from. They have a 35% deposit bonus from payment methods of your choosing, and also offer a free $5 for every $100 trade. Not to mention their 24/7 live chat support team. SkinsMonkey is currently running their annual Christmas event where they prepared a free gift for everyone. You can either receive a free skin, up to a 50% deposit bonus, or even a free balance on the site. The first gift is free and more are unlocked from trading on the platform. Now, on top of the free gifts, SkinsMonkey has also prepared an advent calendar. These can be additional deposit bonuses, XP, and even tickets for a giveaway for 13 different skins for 13 winners. The more you open, the more tickets you get for a chance at these items. If interested, the link will be in the top of the description down below. Now, first, for today's video is CS2's most recent blog post. This is from last week in December 19th, but there's two different categories, that being maps and miscellaneous. In the maps category is Snare Inferno. Valve adjusted clipping on the scaffolding on B sites. The place a lot of players would boost. There was a problem before, now it's fixed. A little off track of the blog, but I don't really think too many people have paid attention to how much Inferno has changed in 2024. The version we got and saw in CS2 trailers with its release is completely different than what we have now. It feels, plays, and looks very similar to the CSGO version. And of course, last up is the miscellaneous category with 5 different points. Valve fixed a problem with the team select screen, that being for servers with no auto select time limit. Valve fixed a regression with the annotation load command. Valve fixed a bug for players who would input in the console the command of item_assault suit. This would crash players' games. And of course, the last two I gotta say are probably the most important. Valve adjusted the rarity of the rare AK-47 inspect animation, and lastly, Valve fixed a regression with the rare Desert Eagle inspect animation. And that pretty much concludes quite possibly the last blog post of 2024. So yeah, the last 2 points of the new inspect animations, and while one of them Valve removed the Desert Eagle one entirely, well, that's fixed. So I'd actually say a lot of this blog post is very important, but what most players are obviously going to see is the last two, where it's just about the inspect animations. For those who don't know, the last recent update, Valve completely removed the rare Desert Eagle inspect animation. We don't really know why, we don't know if it was a bug, we don't know if it was a test, but yeah, it was completely gone, now it's back in. Valve added a brand new, for what feels like the first time in a decade, a new inspect animation for the AK, or just really any main weapon inside Counter-Strike, but it looked a little goofy, and it wasn't necessarily because it looked really goofy, it was because of how frequent you got it. It was pretty much every time you'd inspect the gun, and it did not, I gotta say, look good for sticker crafts. So with Valve fixing this, makes things feel, well, how they did before, but just now with a little bit of spice and charm. And speaking of animations, Valve did update the FAMAS and the Galil for those who don't know, because there was a couple of bugs with the Galil back in Go that were never fixed going into CS2, and both the Galil and the FAMAS just look a lot more clean with the reloads and just overall animations. Now, because Valve is and was messing around with weapon inspect animations, though most of them are for good reason, like the Galil and FAMAS, do you guys think Valve could be revamping all of them to look more modern, and eventually all weapons to have a new rare inspect feature, very similar to the AK? And because they're tweaking all the weapons to make them look different, do you think we could also see new weapon sounds in sometime in 2025? Since I know for most people it feels like just yesterday Valve changed the AK sound. Boy, I missed that. But no, it's been since 2016. It's a pretty long time. And now I want to quickly talk about this brand new CPU setting. The update for the setting was a lot bigger than expected. Now, for most players, they should be using the performance cores only, and this is LED and can boost your frames upwards of 10%. Now, the reason I say for most players is this does not work on any CPUs under the 12th generation. For me and anybody who doesn't even have a 12th generation CPU or newer, this setting doesn't even show up as an option. Now, I'm going to leave a link to 3Clicks' most recent video down in the description. He's done a very good job of breaking it all down because of 3Clicks, but also because he has the CPU in hand. At the end of the day, this will improve over time, but like any other major CS2 update, this setting may bug some players' games out, and for others, it could cause possible crashing. And of course, let's shift our focus to Valve's new Tease. This all started with a thread and post from Flom on Twitter, with him going to visit the Valve headquarters in Washington, and of course, like Counter-Strike fashion, the CS account mentioned his Crocs in their most recent description for their tweets. Now, could this be legit? Sure. Is it just some sort of meme? Most likely. But it feels like really ever since CS2 came out, the possibilities for customization have pretty much been endless. Most players never thought we'd get a 5th sticker, have the ability to place stickers wherever you want, get keychains, key charms, whatever you want to call them, even back in the day, agents, gloves, and patches. So who's to say that we can't get this sometime in the future? Because what I will say is games similar to Counter Counter-Strike in some ways, that being with customization to some degree. Fortnite just this past few months has released shoe skins, and they've been pretty successful. Now, for how many people are going to be buying shoes in the game, if they do release inside CS2, I'm not sure. Probably not many. I'm probably not going to. Because you barely look at your feet, there's no way in hell am I paying $500 to $1,000 for Crocs Fade. Now, closing today's video, I want to take a step away from all the recent Valve teases and blog posts for Counter-Strike 2, and I want to take a look at the past, but also possible future of holiday-themed events inside the world of Counter-Strike. Since Counter-Strike's launch with CSGO back in 2012 to 2019, we saw continuous and very similar and also innovative updates for holiday-themed events. If that was Christmas, Halloween, Easter, they were awesome and very memorable. And at the beginning, it was small and simple, with chickens just having Christmas sweaters running around, most maps having snow and snowballs in the ground to deal 1 damage if you threw it at a player, themed kill cams, themed maps, and maps just for that time of year. And if you fast forward to the present day and over the last few years, Counter-Strike devs stopped updating the game for these fun small events. Now, why they did that is pretty much beyond my reasoning. I'm assuming it was because of the lack in care and support for Counter-Strike. Counter-Strike has always seemed like the unwanted child out of all of Valve's games. Now, just like most things inside Counter-Strike, there's a brand new port for Dust 2 by Josh Makes Games in the community workshop called Dust 2 Christmas. Now, this makes me nostalgic, mad, and pissed all at the same time. For one, Valve stopped doing this, and I'm not sure why. Two, well, one guy is doing this when Valve has a whole dev team who could be doing this on the other side of things. And he's also just doing more than an entire dev team, some of the most talented devs in the entire world. Now, ending today's video is a statement for Valve. If anyone at the CS dev team or at Valve who works on Counter-Strike, well, watches this for whatever reason, myself and the majority, if not the entire community, hopes that we one day get these updates back. The holiday and the one-off updates, even if they are updates like the R8 where it did break the game, those gave the franchise its charm, and some may say the game's touch. Now, do you guys think Valve will ever return to releasing Christmas, Halloween, or just overall themed events and updates for Counter-Strike? I personally think there's still a chance next year, just never say never. Maybe your bets next year should be on Cobblestone, since it was supposed to receive a winter theme according to data mines. Ladies and gentlemen, that pretty much concludes 2024 Fallout.